Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. It's hard to imagine this not being a fun game to watch. It's the Texans going up against the Bengals. For the call, let's send you out to the broadcast booth, where we'll join our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, we appreciate it, Larry. It's our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Texans and the Cincinnati Bengals. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden. To my left, Charles Davis. And, Charles, you focus on this Bengal team entering play. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Here come the Bengals now to take over. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention. Play fake here on first down. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Second down, 8. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. From the gun, Wood, and he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. So a first quarter sack, and remember, keep in mind, he had 2 sacks in last week's game.
And it's always intriguing to me to watch these great pass rushers because some of them, they need their teammates to scheme for them. Maybe occupy people, make it a one-on-one matchup. Other guys, they just defeat everything in front of them. To get 2 sacks in a game, it's a little bit of both for you.
And some room to maneuver. And they're able to get this one across the 35. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
And an alley to run. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
That was a good, strong run there. And while it won't pick up a first down, it was definitely something needed by that offense. A positive run. They got a good push by their guys up front. Maybe something they can build on as this game continues.
Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there. Now it's third down and inches. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
On third down, it's Bennett. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's worked, blitz coming, and down he goes. Oh, free safety blitz, that can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble, because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 37.
Well, it's third and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
Let's go! 3-19!
Wood throwing on first down. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. And they've got it here with a first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Let's go! 3-19!
Now Wood to throw on second down. Over the middle, complete. That's Cummings. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Every now and then I scratch my head when I see the draw play called, especially after a great run the previous play. Keep attacking. Sometimes the draw play develops slowly, and that allows the defense to react.
Looking to throw. Wood under a heavy rush, and down he goes. He was superb a week ago. 3 sacks in that affair. Now 1 here in the second quarter.
Well, how about our conversations this week? With him, it was pretty simple. He said, I've got a few combinations I can try it out they haven't seen yet. And on the flip side, they thought they had a plan to block.
And the pressure gets to him again. Well, they went with the nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down. You bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
And the 13-year man puts it through. And the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. And we were scoreless up until this point in the second quarter. Now we finally have a little action.
Let's see where this action takes us. First quarter, no points at all. Now we've got our first score of the game. Well, does that signal that we're going to get more as we go along? Or will it revert back to what we saw in the beginning of the game?
Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for them, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
On play action, they'll throw. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. Remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Larry Ridley. Larry will have the highlights of this first half, but he won't have touchdowns because we haven't had any to this point.
But there's still time, though, partner.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, it's complete. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The Texans send the punter out as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Time for our first check of the NFL scoreboard. Now you saw this. The Bengals bring pressure, and it's blocked. It's picked up, and this is a live ball, remember. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati.
Partners, you well know every block punt wasn't necessarily a called block. Sometimes the guy just finds his way back there. Doesn't matter. The play happens, and that one turned into 6 points because they handled it so well after the block.
It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken in at the 1. And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. And now out comes Houston. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
Back to throw. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. 23 yards on the play. On first down, he'll drop to throw. And his throw here's incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And now here's a carry heading left. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Looking left sideline, it's complete. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans draw a bit closer. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, full half to be played. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And maybe he's starting to wing the... And he'll give it here to his running back. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On 2nd down, they'll try and run the counter. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Here's Wood on 1st and 10. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burn the timeout, making them sweat out the final few ticks here in the 2nd quarter. Back to throw. Wood. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. When they need to play on 3rd down, you kind of know what direction the ball is going, but the defense knew it too.
Yeah, it's a good call because they wanted to put 2 men on him, and they did. Dare him to throw into double coverage. Really what you're saying is, let's see if one of your other receivers can beat us.
And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds, and they'll say it sailed out. Now, you folks don't know what you're missing. Missing Larry Ridley. Ready to get back, though, to this Week 2 matchup. Let's get to it. On the NFL scoreboard, 2nd quarter in Nashville. And the Jags, they're out to an early lead there. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors. But overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
The more football I watch, the more I want to check and see if teams are going to panic when they're down on the scoreboard. And this team has shown no signs of doing that. A lot of the time, they come out after the half. Things haven't worked so well in the first go-around. They want to throw the football like crazy. But the way to open up throwing the ball is to run it. And they've run it well here to start the second half.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he'll lose yardage here. Going down back at the 28. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. I'm no offensive mastermind, but of all the guys on the field to block, you might want to stop him.
Look, I've got a very simple rule. An unblocked defender is usually your best defender, and he ended up making the play there.
They're going to look to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. 78 yards. And the Texans are in for 6.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His second touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. A drive there of just 4 plays. And the result, a Houston touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
And to give this time to the tailback. And an alley to run. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. Now after that last play, there's a Bengal down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. And now a first down following that long gain. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. A great play there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Bengals are in for 6. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep your assignments. Let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking. Beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They had seized the lead there for a little bit with a starting drive in the third quarter, but a moment ago, the touchdown that puts them back behind.
So their defense is under siege a little bit right now because they have not able to solve their opponents. So they've got to keep hammering away on offense and try and win this one in what appears to be a shootout.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
That defensive front four has been very good. They've just not let the running game get going, have they?
Not at all. In fact, the entire offense just looking a little bit out of sync in this one.
Yeah, sometimes this is why coaches like forward-down defensive linemen. It's like they can cover more ground when defending the run.
Got a man over the middle, and It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Now they'll run it on the toss. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They got to feel pretty good about that one.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. And defensively, they were ready for that, a full-on blitz on fourth down, and they stop him short of the marker.
Oh, and someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz defense, and they hit it just right. Stack that thing up. They're going to feel awesome going to the bench after that big play.
And they give this time to the tailback. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. Wood now, looking to throw on second down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Murphy. 10 yards there on a Bengal first. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his. I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble. But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
A pickup of 5 that time and a first down.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on third down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down.
Face mask. Defense.
trailing in the fourth, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
A handoff as they run the counter play. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Face mask. Defense.
Boy, tight game like this, fourth quarter, personal foul penalties, a no-no.
Yeah, we know the emotions are running high. The tensions are the same. Who can control them best could ultimately win it.
They go play action here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
To throw is Wood. Off play action. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're facing a critical third down now as they try to hold on to this lead. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. The Bengals bring out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a fourth down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us.
And that's caught inside the 30. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. First down now, but that clock rolling.
Here we go now.
He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Let's go. All right, now look at 56. All right, now look at 56. Look at 56.
He'll look to throw. A swing pass caught. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
A score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
Now the try here for the extra point. It's up and good to make it 21-17. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. Elsewhere, they're on to the fourth quarter at MetLife Stadium. And the Giants, they wind up winning that one. A win would be their first of the young season. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. After some early struggles running the ball, they've really picked it up. Early it just seemed like there were no holes there. Now all of a sudden the holes seem to be there. I don't know if that's just my imagination.
And give them credit that they kept their confidence.
And he can't get a throw away. he's taken down. Now the Bengals urging everybody to get back to the line of scrimmage. Back to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Murphy. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. They'll look to throw. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. 18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. First down. Back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And they will score a pick six for the Texans TD.
Well, partner, I do know this. If you're a defensive back, you have more chances to make a team now than ever because people are using 5 defensive backs, 6 defensive back packages. Not exclusively, but way more than before. That was a nickel package there, and what a pickoff.
Why is that? Why are they using that more?
Because more people are throwing the ball on earlier downs than ever before. This has become a passing league, and because of that, more defensive backs on the field on most plays.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They have a little bit of time left here, but this one not going to go their way.
And this is where, in this situation for me, you just go ahead and run out the clock, shake hands, congratulations, and move on. Because now, you're not going to make up for what's happened during the...
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop him with 13 seconds left to play. Wood to throw on second down. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. He's picked off at his own 47, and they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Around the NFL fourth quarter right now in Atlanta. And give that one to the Bears as they wind up winners. A win would be their second on the young season. That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to air one out. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending the guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
And this will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants him to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
Now the final act of this victory, the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for Houston, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll return home next week to take on the Oakland Raiders. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. So long, everybody.